All right, Jason Rona back here with part two with Ron Schuur. We're talking Hobby Wing right now, and we're here in the Pacific Northwest at the Tacoma RC Raceway here at the Spring Indoor Nationals. And Ron, we got a nifty little device here just released from Hobby Wing. Tell us a little bit about the Wi-Fi.
The little Wi-Fi module you might be able to see in my hand, I don't know here, it connects to the speed control where you would connect the program box traditionally. It'll connect to any of the current offering, not the V2 and backwards, but any of the current speed controls it'll connect. This device here has an antenna on it, is actually an mini HTTP server, which will talk to your Android smartphone or a Apple phone. So both of them will be available at the end of this month when this product becomes available, and you'll just go to the Android store or the Google or the Apple store and get your software. That software will be updated, and it'll keep the current release in the actual Android app or the Apple app on your phone, so you don't have to use a laptop anymore to do updates. And everything's available through here that would be on the box, and it's much easier to operate. I'll just keep talking here, but one of the really cool features I think of this thing is we can mount this in the car. And when I say mount it in the car, just servo tape it down in the car here, just somewhere where you can have the antenna up in the body, and the range on the HTTP part is much further than a Bluetooth. So what that allows us to do is have the application running here on our phone, and you go out and practice at a lot of these large races. You may get 2-3 practices. So what we can do is pull over, just tap on this, bring up your settings, maybe add a little drag brake, take a little out, do whatever adjustment you'd like to do, save it, and then disable this, take off. Now, I jumped over one piece. When you enable the application here to talk to this the speed control, the throttle is disabled, so you can't drive at that point. Then as soon as you save and disconnect here, the throttle's re-enabled here. The other thing that we're telling everybody is, and encouraging race directors, don't leave these in the vehicle for any official events or practice, or not practice, but qualifying. Just to take the question out, did you change anything you shouldn't be, especially in a spec race. So that's, in a nutshell, what this little box is going to do for us. It should be out by the end of the month. When you go through the screens, should I go through the screens right now?
Yeah, let's show a little bit of kind of the unit in action.
We'll get a little close up here, I think. And right here is where I've got it. I just connected it, and there's a little icon right there where it kind of blinks. And then one of the things you can do is come in. We log some data, and we have RPM, the lowest voltage during that run, and temperature of the speedo and the motor. And so you can go run by run, check your gearing, so forth, see what kind of RPM. This isn't what I would call data logging in the true sense, but more of a data point to give you some reference. We will be offering data logging in the future. Down here, you can come in here. This is, again, the XR Pro, so we don't have any different software to upgrade to or downgrade to, but you can perform this upgrade right over the phone, or Wi-Fi, I'm sorry. And then the settings themselves, you can come in here under parameters. We'll go into the zero timing profile. And while this is taking a moment to load, you can now save your settings onto your phone, email them to your buddy. They can use this and upload them very simply. So that's another little convenient thing. So there's been people asking for various setups. We'll be able to offer those setups and put them on a site where you can download them and then upload them at your convenience. So now we're in here, and let me just take one here that's got, let's go to brakes. Let's say drag brake. So I want to go to drag brake. Before, if you remember putting drag brake in, you can go all the way to 100 from 0, but if you were ever You had to hold the button down and you go past 5, say, and now you got to go all the way back to 100 and then back around to 5, and then you go past it again. Now you don't. You can go backwards. So if I wanted 99%, I can just roll back. So you just scroll through it, find what you want, and then come back in and just tap on the little chili here. My finger's not warm enough to trigger this thing. Hold on. There it goes. And then like another one of the brake rate control is now something you just slide back and forth. You can set it to the value you want. And when you're ready, you just, again, I should be able to tap it, but a little chilly out here. But you can go right through everything here and change it very, very simply, much easier than in the past. And then you've got disconnect, import, export, and factory reset, so you can go back to the default settings that were on the speed control initially. So that's kind of a quick snapshot of what this does. You can hit save up here. Yes, I want to save it. And all this time we've been talking, the throttle would have been disabled. Then I come back here, and then I can just tap on this, and then the throttle would be re-enabled and you'd be ready to get going.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the advantage here is instead of having the program box, which sometimes are kind of like, I'll use the word clunky to kind of operate. They're a little notchy and they're, like not, such a fine adjustment. Now what you got is you have an application where you can go in and you can actually scroll to the number that you're looking for 100%.
Yeah, and the box is clunky. I mean, you hit the wrong button and go, oh, and you got to start all over again. Or like I said, you have to go back around. So this is way more intuitive, much easier user interface. Yeah.
So with this device, what is there a price on this particular unit yet?
I believe they're $54.95, $54.99, something like that. They're available for pre-order right now. All the distributors will have them, or you can get it from Hobbywing Direct.
So this, as you mentioned, the device here, is it actually, it works with the latest generation speed controls, and there's kind of a cutoff going how far back?
How do I say this? The only ones I know it doesn't work with are we have a lot of people using the version 2, 2.1. Some people call it. It does not work with those versions, but it works with the XR10 Pro. Obviously, the XR10 Just Stock, the V3.1, the SCT Pro, the XR8 line of speed controls.
So if kind of, what do you kind of see when you're using this as a user? Like if you're out in a practice run or something, and you're just you're out there, maybe you have you're not limited on time. Maybe you're out there for a good 10-20 minutes, and you stop. You make an adjustment, and then you continue running your practice run. You could stop, make an adjustment, and then you could continue, and you actually can compare those results on the same track, on the same condition, instead of going to the pits or that type of thing.
Yes, exactly. You can do it all within one battery pack. Track conditions are all going to be the same for off-road especially. Even on-road, that's the same situation. But you can real-time change it. And you don't have to go, now does it feel better than it did 20 minutes ago type thing. You can feel it instantaneous what's happening. So that's the thing. It's all about convenience. No more laptop, no more box, and it's right in your hand, and you can just do it whenever you need to.
And is this something that do you see like maybe a one of these things where it's like you share it with your buddy type of thing, or do you think this is something that you kind of want to have for yourself? You're like, hey, take my Wi-Fi, and it's more like a transponder maybe, where you just keep it with you at all times.
I think it's going to develop to where it's like a transponder and you'll just have one, but there's nothing that would prevent anybody, and we didn't try to discourage you from sharing them. I mean, so if you have one and you want your buddy to use it, hey, go for it. The password can be set unique. I didn't go into that, but you can set a unique password that so if you plug this thing in, I can't go in there and log into yours, and not that there's anything valuable, but you couldn't get to it.
Did I didn't notice on the menus, but is there actually was Hobbywing able to add the talent button in there? Can you increase and decrease the talent level?
Yeah, that's an email that comes to you No, just kidding.
That's available
One of the
separately.
things it is, yeah, one of the things that is in here, you can get to all the manuals. So if you have a question or you get the light flashing and it's like, oh gosh, what's going on, you can get to the manuals now.
So you can kind of troubleshoot if you needed
It
to.
helps you troubleshoot, yes, because everything's right here in your hand, and we don't have to go all over the place. 'Cause in the box, you couldn't. There was no memory to put that in. So now we have that capability.
All right, well, that's Ron with Hobby Wing. One more item here that we wanted to talk about with the new Wi-Fi device, and obviously we discussed all the advantages of using something like this, and obviously very popular in today's racing. And thanks, Ron, for pointing us in the right direction and introducing us to the new product here.
You're always welcome, Jason. Thank you.